the records?
Yes.
Yeah.
Internal auditor is equal to.
Yeah. Retained document.
Yes, retained document.
Okay. And in the audit program, what should be defined?
Terms criteria, scope. Criteria.
Criteria.
Yeah. It will be defined by the
Organization. Can any person conduct internal audit of his own area?
No. You should conduct to other departments. Or part, being not parts of.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Any input in the management review? Any point? What should be discussed in the management reviews? What should top management shall review? Any one area which we covered yesterday.
Like the policies implementation, trainings.
Policy implementation, training.
Risk
Responsibilities. Yes. Any other? Non-conformities. Corrective actions. Customer satisfaction. Okay. What are the stages in corrective actions? Yesterday we discussed corrective action.
Correction and then corrective action.
And then go to root cause of
Okay.
corrective action.
Correction, root cause analysis, identify the risk.
And elimination of action plans.
Okay. So first of all, correction. Then after that, analysis of root cause. Then implementation of corrective actions and check the effectiveness of those actions. Okay. What is the difference between correction and corrective action?
Correction means we are avoiding, we are eliminating the NCR.
Okay. Eliminating the NCR, non-conformity.
But corrective action, we are overcoming the NCR that issued to us.
We are fixing the problem.
Yeah, fixing the problem.
Like we eliminate the problem.
Root cause and solve permanently.
Eliminate the problem is again correction.
Root cause.
Eliminate the
Root causes of that problem. Yeah.
So it will
So
not
that
repeat.
it will not occur
Again
again.
and again.
That point or any other point in the organization, any other area of the organization. Not only that area. All areas.
Like this, before NCR and after NCR. Before issuing NCR, we can make correction. We can define correction.
No.
No?
That is preventative.
Because there will be
Okay.
non-conformity, then only you can correct. Okay. So standards are based on what? All the standards are based on
On the
3-4 things.
on the PDCA cycle.
Process approach.
Process approach,
PDCA cycle.
PDCA,
Risk-based.
thinking,
Analysis.
and
Analysis.
all the standards are based on this. Environmental aspect. What is that?
Aspect.
The emission of smoke to air.
What can affect the environment?
Environment, like land,
Any activity of the organization can interact with the environment.
like
And
land,
what is
water.
okay? What is environmental impact?
Impact
Which is
effect.
affected by the
Effect
of
on the
the-
environment due to that aspect. Okay. Any example of environmental aspect?
Emission of smoke to air.
Emission of
Water contamination.
any example of impact?
Global war.
The air war.
Globally,
Global war.
Yeah.
Depletion of ozone layer. Very good. So let's start today with hazard identification and what is risk management. What is hazard?
so any source or situation which can be reason of accident.
Which make harm.
That can cause harm to people.
Okay.
Or damage of property.
Okay. Hazard. Okay. What is incident?
Unexpected event.
Unexpected event.
Unwanted event which can be the reason of property damage, employee injury, or company cost.
Okay. Very good. What is accident?
Unexpected event. Result is property damage or personal injury.
That is also incident. What is the difference between incident and accident?
I think
An accident is something happened already. You cannot control that.
Incident is any mishappen. Means
Near miss.
Yes. Not means any happened thing is incident, and accident is which cause the effect to the this company and this.
The incident, there is no result. Something happened, but there is no result. No property damage, no injury.
Maybe result or maybe not
It is
result.
not incident.
No, that is near miss.
That is.
I think incident until we don't know what is, we know there is incident happened in some area, but we don't know what is happening. I mean, there is an injury, there is property damage, or when we investigate, and then we know that is accident.
Any happenings is incident, but after something loss or some damage, then it is accident.
Incident causes
Then it is near miss.
No. Incident is anything which happened. It is accident also. Incident in incident, accident also comes. But accident is specifically when there will be some loss or some damage.
What is near miss then?
Near miss means it can happen. In some things means it can escaping from escaping from. Incident not happened. Incident did not take place, but it can take place for this reason.
No, near miss situation.
Yeah, so maybe the
Incident happened with no injuries.
It's a series of
No,
events.
I also
Any
have
event.
different definition.
Any
Different
event
definition. Yes.
that may cause harm or not harm. This is an incident. But an accident, it's a result of that incident.
And accident will cause harm.
Okay.
Near miss it can happen.
Are you clear? Know what they are saying?
Still confused.
Okay.
Because different.
So it means it's not clear. The definition is not clear. What is incident? What is accident? What is near miss?
Near miss is
Near miss is
clear.
clear.
Near miss.
What is that? Near miss. Okay. Tell me near miss.
So near miss only if we identify that this may cause some this may result only we.
Incident happened with no injuries.
Yeah, there is no result.
That is okay.
Like employee is working on the height and they did not use the safety procedure. That is a near miss. He can fail down.
No,
The thing
It's-
is, guy working, one person crossing the road, incidentally car came, but he jumped, but nothing happened, car.
no, that is not near miss. Near miss something like if it's open hole and somebody is the worker it's coming nearby that he just saw and he escaped from the accident happening. So that is basically based on near miss.
For example, if someone put helmet and some object fell down.
No, that's accident.
No.
But near miss it comes because he saved himself because of the
I have a suggestion. Let the professor explain it to us so that we have common understanding of
One
this.
coconut fall down very near to us.
Yes.
That is near miss.
Yeah,
Falling
that's
near,
Yeah.
it's accident.
That is near miss.
accident.
If it fell down, that goes accident.
Because if we didn't control this nearness, it will lead as an accident.
It's a route.
Accident means something happens, unfortunately something happens in the process. It's known as accident. Something which is unfortunately happened. Maybe we can describe as it's an accident.
Okay, if scaffolding collapse.
Then it
It is accident or incident? Sorry. Incident, accident or near miss?
If there is a damage.
Because there,
If there is a
If there is a loss,
This is an incident.
incident, yes.
incident.
If injury accident.
Property damage.
If injury accident, if no injury, near miss.
No, not
Yes,
It's not injury, it is incident.
Incident, yeah.
Incident, not near.
If injury is accident, if no, then incident.
वो confuse हो गया बहुत गलत गया.
Near miss,
If injury
it will not
accident.
happen, then
Yeah.
near miss.
No,
No
this is
injury,
there.
near miss.
Okay. Yeah, please explain.
If injury happen, that is accident.
Accident.
If not happen, near miss.
Yes.
So, it's already according to
incident.
collapse.
Yes.
Then it is something happened. This is incident,
Yes.
not near miss. Near miss, when
No.
it not happens.
So you explain.
According to ISO,
Sir.
according to this standard, ISO 45000, what he is explaining is correct.
Yes.
Any event is incident.
yes, any events.
Okay. So incident, then we can divide into two categories. Incident being any event. Can we raise it after writing this or not? I'm not sure.
I'll
Let us check first.
Right?
yeah.
There is a distance.
Yeah, it's okay. We can raise it. So incident, first of all, any event. Again, we can divide into two categories. Accident and near miss or close call. This incident is called accident if human injury. Whether minor or major, small cut or any severe.
Only human injury. Property damage, that will be not count as if there is a property damage and not injury, then it will be not count
Then it
as
is
accident.
near miss.
That will be near miss.
According to ISO, according to this standard, ISO 45000, Nibosh may be different definition.
Yes, yes.
What we are making report for the property damage also. There is a property damage.
It's okay,
as a
but according
incident.
to definition, this is near miss. No human injury.
Sir, every company is following their own procedure, right?
That is incident. Property damage becomes incident.
Every company is following their own procedure. They might be correct because it's like a wall.
No, it's okay, but we are talking about now this ISO
Yeah, ISO
standard.
standard. Yeah.
Yes.
So according to ISO, if some human injury in any incident, then this incident will be termed as accident. If no human injury, even there is a property damage, then it's called near miss. Near miss.
And there's no conflict
Both are
between
incident.
the
Both
two standards.
incident, right?
Yeah, both under incident.
But if
This incident will be called near miss if there is no human injury.
And if there is human injury, that it
Only
Then it
will
is
be called
accident.
as accident.
Because we have here in the airfield area some of accident, like he hit the aircraft. The aircraft is damaged and same time like that will be count what accident or near miss?
Near miss.
According to ISO.
Because this is occupational health and safety of workers. People. Occupational health and safety. Health and safety mean humans, not machines.
If this aircraft hit by one vehicle, if driver is injured
Yeah,
or somebody,
then it is
then accident. If not injured, then near miss.
Yeah. It was near miss for the driver.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about humans, not machinery or tools.
We are not considering anything related in objects, property damage.
If any person, that driver, or maybe any person working near that, or any person in the aircraft, then it is accident. Accident for that person. Is it clear? Okay, now what is risk?
Is the probability, likelihood, and consequence.
Yes. So then we, calculate the risk. What is the risk in this hazard? If this is a hazard, so what are the risks associated with this hazard? Okay. So as he said, risk is equal to likelihood into consequence. Sometimes it is called probability into severity. Same thing. So this clause is now related to this hazard and risk assessment. Clause number 6.1.2. Okay, injuries and ill health, you understand that what is injury and ill health. Incident, occurrence, this is the definition according to ISO. Occurrence arising out of or in the course of work that could or does result in the injury, and ill health is known as incident. An incident where injury or ill health occurs, that is accident. And an incident where no injury occurs but there is a potential is known as near miss. This is the definition according to this standard. Nibosh, maybe I don't know, maybe it's different. OSHA may be different.
Actually, they are taking property damage also as accident.
We have format and we are sending report in our client.
Yeah, it's okay. But in this ISO, if there is property damage, even then you will send that report. Because in the standard, it is incident investigation, not accident investigation. Incident means both. If there is accident or incident, you need to investigate. Okay? Hazards, there are some examples. Fire hazard, shock tool, electric shock, hazards, chemical, slip trip, fall, working at height, working in confined space. So many hazards are there. Categories of hazards: physical, chemical, biological, physiological, mechanical, and electrical. These are some examples of hazards. Hazard identification. Now, this is 6.1.2.1 clause number in the standard, which requires from the organization to determine hazards. Make a process to determine hazards. And when organization shall determine hazards, again, they will consider all the points are mentioned. Routine and non-routine activities. Hazards are related to human. Hazards are related to material. Hazards are related to any change. Okay. So all kind of hazards identification is required by the standard. In the organization, hazards are related to material, hazards are related to human, hazards are related to routine activities, non-routine activities, even in the vicinity, outside the organization. those need to be determined. Okay. A process of recognizing and understanding the hazards in the workplace to workers in order to perform assessment, then hazard identification. But you will consider factors considering during the hazard identification. As I told you, social factors, routine and non-routine activities, past accident, past emergencies, potential emergency situations, people and their work locations, design of work area, equipment and processes, change management. So all you need to determine the hazards related to these activities. Okay. Then risk management. Now the risks related to those hazards. Okay. So this is a process for risk management. That first of all, risk identification, and then risk analysis. And during this risk analysis, you will risk assessment basically. So risk assessment, how you assess your risk, risk identification, risk estimation, and risk evaluation. 3 steps. Risk identification first, and then risk analysis. So again, you will use this formula. Risk okay, and maybe this table you can use. This is how you assess your risk. The same formula as it was mentioned, that risk is equal to likelihood into consequences. So this side of the table, this is the likelihood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are the consequences. For example, let's take example of natural hazard, earthquake, for example. So here in this area, if you want to determine, if you want to assess the risk of this earthquake, so first you will check the likelihood, chance of occurrence. Okay, so then you will see, in the past, is there any incident like earthquake, and based on that, then you will check this rating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you can see, likelihood will be 1. Okay, now the consequences. Yeah, again it will depend upon maybe the buildings. When you construct this building, if you have already taken some precautions, then maybe consequences are less. For example, in Japan, many earthquakes are there, but now the buildings, they have designed their buildings. If there is earthquake, so maybe very less consequences. So then you will check, are there any precautionary measures taken? If not, then maybe consequences will be fine. Okay, because you will not understand, then maybe you will ask questions again and again.
Sorry, sir. Workload.
Okay. So, what will will be the risk? So you will go here 1 and under 5. This will be the answer.
For example, if we in KSA, when we taking KSA, the likelihood we can consider 1. If we go to Japan, it will come around 3 or 4 something. Right?
Yeah, different.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. But we'll go here, and but consequences then maybe like
Yes,
or
they will take precautions
Yeah.
and measures already. Yeah.
So this is how you can calculate your risk. I mean, this table is not recommended by ISO or something, because ISO is not recommending something, anything. You can use any table. Sometimes it is low, medium, high only.
Yeah, 3 by 3.
Yeah, 3 by 3. Sometimes some companies now using from 1 to 10. Likelihood 1 to 10, and also consequences from 1 to 10. So it's up to the organization how you calculate your risk. So this way, first of all, you will identify what is the hazard and what is the risk associated with this hazard, and you will calculate, you will assess your risk. And then you will set your criteria that at what rating, at what, this maybe you will set 15 or maybe 12. So if the result of this calculation is more than 12, so it's mean organization shall take some actions to reduce that. Clear? So criteria you will set, and then again come to this point. So risk analysis, risk evaluation. Then you evaluate your risk. If the rating, if the result is 5, now you evaluate based on that criteria which you have already set, that whether we need some actions, corrective actions or not. Okay. So criteria again, if it is, as I told you, if you are using 3 by 3, then you can say maybe medium or high. If you are using 1 to 5, then again you can set 12 or 15, whatever. So based on that, then you will decide whether you want to take any corrective action or not. Is it clear?
Clear.
Now similarly opportunities. With the risk, with the hazards, and the risk associated with these hazards, you will also identify, organization also identify the opportunities to improve the occupational health and safety management system. Not only, risk, also opportunities. So this is the requirement of the standard regarding this hazards and risk assessment. And opportunities, some examples: inspection and auditing, job safety analysis, work permit, applying controls. So any opportunity, like that you can improve your occupational health and safety to save the workers. How you can save? Okay, so similarly you will assess the opportunities. Okay, now there are some pictures, and you will now assess, you will check what are the risks here. So no PPs, but this is not like a hazard. First of all, you will identify the hazard. PP is control.
Control, yes. Actually, he should not extend their
Never
Falling
use
as a
height.
first.
Falling from height is a hazard.
Machinery is improper lifting.
Okay, improper lifting and falling object is also hazard here. Okay.
The employee over there without guardrail. There.
Yeah.
No guardrail. The employee is standing there. There should be guardrail. For
But
them
that is
to
control.
Yes. But that is a hazard also for the.
So hazard is falling from height.
For both.
Due to absence of this control, there is a hazard of falling from height. Okay.
Struck by objects.
And maybe this person
There is two.
crushing hazard.
Struck by objects.
Okay. And
Traffic hazard.
object failure can be improper method. You can see this person.
Falling object.
Okay. Now controls risk, but how you can calculate the risk? If there is a falling, so risk is high or low or medium?
High.
Because consequences
Is high.
and probability both high.
Likelihood also high, consequence also high.
Okay. And controls now. What controls you can apply here?
Scaffold and protection
Guardrails.
for platform.
Guardrails.
Fix one letter and
Talking
take it
about
to
the
the
lifting, proper lifting.
Yeah, method. Okay.
And also.
Give proper awareness.
Yeah, awareness.
Or protection for above
Toolbox.
PP.
Maybe some administrative controls.
Barricade the area.
This person, yeah, barricade the area. I don't know, this person is maybe just looking what is happening.
Supervising.
Okay. So this is how you will, all the activities related to non-routine, maybe routine. This may be non-routine activity. Sometime it will happen. Routine activities mean which is, normally a routine work.
Repeated.
Yeah. So maybe this is a non-routine activity. So even then, you need to determine the risks related to this activity. Okay. What about this? Same. Hazards
Fall from height.
fall from height.
Falling object.
Falling object. Improper scaffolding.
Scaffolding structure.
Yeah.
Or secured any platform.
Safety guards.
Okay. So
Design is good.
again high everything. So controls, training to the workers.
Condition identification.
Safety harness.
Inspection of scaffolding.
Proper
Yeah.
fitting of scaffolding.
Yeah.
Supervision.
Competent.
Competent person inspection of scaffolding.
Yeah. Okay. So next picture.
Traffic accident.
No.
He's sleeping.
Under the.
Or he's taking rest.
Physical injury.
No, that they did
Yeah,
not put
basically
the.
crushing hazard is there.
The stop bar in the tire.
Yeah. So that is control.
That's control.
Okay. And maybe in this picture it looks that person is
Performing
only
maintenance.
single person doing the work. So maybe you can put another person there just for the supervision of this area and make sure that nothing goes wrong. And verification also, and maybe some kind of identification, work under progress or something like this.
Do not operate.
Sharp rotating blade.
Yeah,
Sharp.
cutting hazard.
Rotating blades, so flying
Sharp
hazard.
Okay. You can see some cables here. Electric shocks. Okay.
Even fire.
Yeah.
Water.
Not proper PPE.
Yeah, that is control.
It's control.
Okay. And this person. So control what you can apply? Maybe gloves, goggles,
Housekeeping.
safety shoes, housekeeping.
Welding shoe.
Yeah, guard for okay. For proper arrangement of these cables.
Fire extinguisher. And also barricade.
Yeah.
Should be.
Fire blanket for avoiding the spark.
Yeah.
Safety goggles, apron.
Yeah.
This one will not count as a near miss.
No. This is an activity. Not near miss.
This is as per OSHA. As per the ISO standard.
There is a rotating blade part, and still he is working without hand gloves, and there is a flying part, so can be reason of
No.
This is example of an incident.
This is just an activity.
Unsafe activity.
Unless something happens. If something happens and this person is injured, then it is accident. If that person is not injured, then it is yes. Right now it is an activity.
Unsafe activity.
Activity is equal to incident.
No.
No.
When something happens, then it is incident. If injury, accident. If not injury, yes.
So what I mean is, a definition of an incident is any event.
No. Any happening after
Occurrence that can occur maybe near miss and accident, an incident.
Potential. Any event that
But this one, sorry, it has the
Activity.
potential.
No, activity is this.
But activity is.
now, for example, if you daily drive your car, so what is that? Is it near miss? Any time accident can happen.
Sorry, I'm talking about the incident. The incident.
Yeah, incident.
It's a series of events, occurrence.
Occurrence rising out of or in the course of work that could or does result
May
could
not.
or does result.
Ill health
Yeah.
is known as incident.
In the injury and ill health is known as incident.
And that picture, sir, I think it's clearly.
No.
It may.
He is something doing. He is working. You are just driving. There is no incident.
No, what I mean, sir, on that picture, I'm talking about on that exactly picture.
So he's just like you're driving. If you drive vehicle, so that person is doing some work. There is a potential, but you cannot say that is incident or nearness. That is just an activity.
So what is the benefit for the incident near miss reporting requirement?
Because if there is a exposed electrical wire.
Already scaffolding collapsed.
Yeah.
Then we are reporting the incident near miss.
Yes.
For example, we are reporting near miss for 300 near miss. We can calculate the 30 property damage. Then one serious injury or fatality happening. That is our calculation. Okay. So that means more near miss happening. We should do the more active to occurring this near miss. We can understand the situation of that project. It's more near miss means safety is
Good.
no bad. So we needed more precautions, more safety things, training. Then we are increasing our awareness, everything. Then we try to reduce this near miss to avoiding the accident. So you are talking as per the ISO, scaffolding collapse, that is called near miss.
Yeah.
So how we can control that one?
Control that one. It is an incident.
Something happened before that is considering as a
Yeah. So this is incident. So that is your operational control. What you are talking about, that is your operational controls.
this is
That is
based on this
also
only.
required. Yeah, that is also required according to the standard. First, you will apply your operational controls. After that, if something happens, then that is incident. And if there is any incident, then standard requires to investigate that, whether it is near miss or accident, so that you can revise your operational controls.
Regarding sir, electrical wire.
If you install that scaffolding, so already it is defined that what are your controls. You will apply those controls first. In this picture, the controls are not proper.
Yes.
So if an auditor will come, so then auditor will raise non-conformity on the controls.
Yes.
So first of all, you will apply proper controls, and then if there is anything, any event, so then any incident, then you will investigate that why it happened. Maybe the operational controls are not proper. Is it clear?
Sir, I have one question.
Okay, please.
During my field inspection, I see my employee is working with the equipment, and the electrical wire it is exposed, cut, but he doesn't know, and I know. For some time he know, then they inform me. That will be count in my documentation. What near miss or
No, it is operational control.
that will be not count near miss?
No.
Because he can touch the exposed wire and could be there.
Actually, sir, it's normal safety, all safety.
Then I rectify that after that. I rectified.
That is lack of operational controls.
It was unsafe condition.
Yeah. Not incident.
No incident. But that should
No,
be
what I mean is, if the situation is the cut of the wire is during the work, during the duration of that work, I believe we can consider as an incident.
Yeah, if it is not before,
Not before, it's during the
work.
Yes,
If
during the
due,
work.
why it will cut?
Because some people, maybe 10 people are there, and they are using sharp object. And some are knives, blade,
Okay.
scissors. Accidentally, they
They cut that.
Yeah. Then
Then
an incident.
yeah,
But
this is incident.
Yes.
But is
It is near miss. If nobody is injured,
Nobody is injured.
then it's a near miss. It is incident, but incident
Near
near
miss.
miss.
if somebody go to electrocution, that's called accident.
Yeah.
As per all.
As per this, yes. Clear? Okay. This is photograph number 5.
Actually, he has the electrical scope in this airport and he's telling, I use the crane for other purpose.
You can see more electricity.
No, this one is not crane by the way.
No, our people they are using mashallah.
Mountain
This
club.
is not into electrical thing.
Electrical is under your company.
No. Man lifted without a safety harness. That's what I
That's what the work is done.
Okay, so electric shock hazard. So controls
Insulated hand gloves.
and gloves, and also lockout.
Lockout side of
Lockout. You ensure that the power is cut off. Okay. Then 6.1.3, legal requirements. Yesterday we discussed environmental. So the legislation or the legal requirements related to environment. Here this is occupational health and safety. Now organization shall determine the legal requirements related to health and safety. Which legal requirements are applicable? So is there any Saudi law that is applicable?
There is OSH with Saudi Arabia. They have the website.
So you're all, not all maybe, but some people are working in the health and safety department. So you know that where that occupational health and safety
Sometimes
legal requirements are mentioned.
Club in with the labor law.
Really, I believe they're using attached with the OSHA. It's an American system standard.
No, this is separate legislation.
They have their own, but they are giving reference that from where they are getting the standards.
Okay, what are the requirements from government for the health and safety? Have you identified any?
We have another department which is handling this one. The OSHC from Saudi Arabia.
So if you don't know the requirement, so how you can
Implement.
implement the
Yes.
But it's the same thing that with the legal, locally, they're also adopting from international law.
Yeah, but first of all, you should look for local legal requirements. If local legal requirements are not available, then you go for international.
There is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. If no international requirement is available, then you go for benchmarks, industry benchmarks.
And also there is labor law.
So then you will study that normally in the industry, which is relevant to you. So what are the standard there? So then you will make that standard. So anyway, it's in Saudi Arabia. It's I think Royal Decree number 51. You can check from internet.
Even they can check from ILO also.
ILO is international.
No, they are giving them reference that Saudi Arabia, they have their standards through Ministry of Labor.
Yeah, maybe.
Royal Decree number is 51?
51.
51.
51 or 151? 51.
Internet? How I say?
Royal Decree.
Royal Decree. Royal DECREE.
51.
Yeah.
For KSA.
Yeah, for KSA and article number from article number 121 to 148. 121 to 148. So when you read this, then you will know what are the requirements from the government regarding health and safety.
So can you repeat it again? It's M56 or M51?
51. So again, the requirement is that the organization shall determine what legal requirements are applicable of organization and have access to those requirements. Access, maybe you can subscribe to any website. You can appoint a legal advisor. You can check with the local legal bodies. Any method you can use. Then 6.2, clause number 6.2, objectives. Occupational health and safety objectives. Again, same requirement, but objectives related to occupational health and safety. You will set your targets related to health and safety. That maybe injuries level, maybe your incident levels, maybe that working hours without accident or without any stoppage of work. So that you can set. Otherwise, the requirements are be consistent with the policy, be measurable, be updated.
So it's in Arabic. It is showing in Arabic.
No.
But
English,
through ILO.
English is also there.
There is a website for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
sosh.hrd.gov.sa. This is the website for their occupational safety department.
Yeah. What's the website again?
SOS HRSD .gov.sa.
Thank you.
So objectives, same requirement, no change, only now targets or objectives related to occupational health and safety. So this is on clause number 6, now clause number 7, support. Again, same clauses, resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documentation. Resources, again same requirement, only generic statement in the standard that the organization shall determine and provide required resources. So you will decide, organization will decide what resources are required. But resources related to human, resources related to equipment, tools, machinery, resources related to work environment, resources related to monitoring and measurement, all kinds of resources. 5M. Competence, again same requirements that you will determine, organization shall determine competency criteria. That if you want to hire occupational health and safety manager, then what should be minimum education, minimum training, skills, experience. So you will determine your competency criteria. And if that criteria is not met, then provide training.
So what can we check for HSC department or
This is specially related to HSC.
HSC team? Their qualification.
Awareness, again same requirements. First of all, policy awareness, objective awareness, then hazards and risk awareness. Okay, Then emergency situation awareness. That what can be emergency situation in the organization and how to react in case of an emergency. This awareness is required. Other are same. In the quality management system, quality policy. Here, occupational health and safety policy. Quality objectives. There, occupational health and safety objectives. But extra things like I told you that emergency situations and how to respond in this emergency situation and their hazards associated to their work. That awareness is required. Communication, same, internal communication and external communication. So you need to, organization need to establish a process that how to communicate, to whom it will be communicated, when it will be communicated, how it will be communicated. So that process is required in the organization. That how you will internally communicate. If you want to communicate occupational health and safety policy, then how you will communicate? If you want to communicate with outside, how to communicate? Who will communicate? How? Through email, through letters, whatever. Documented information, same requirement, no change. Retain documented information, maintain documented information, everything is same. But here maybe maintain like 8-9 clauses required maintain documented information, and 7-8 clauses require retain documented information. Otherwise everything is same. Creating and updating, control of documents, retention time, disposition, everything is same. So if you have integrated management system, and once you define your document control, that will be applicable to all kind of documents. No need to define separately. Operations, clause number 8. Again, 2 sub-clauses. Operational controls, operational planning and control, and then it has some sub-clauses. And then 8.2, emergency preparedness and response.
This is HSC operation, right?
Yeah, HSC.
While operation ongoing, what are the HSC things we need to do?
Yeah. Regarding HSC, operational plan, your controls. Okay, any example of operational control in the organization regarding HSC? Occupational health and safety.
Providing PP material.
Inspections.
Okay. PP material.
Inspections.
Providing
Inspection.
Training session should be conducted. Awareness sessions.
Awareness sessions.
Toolbox talk.
Toolbox talks.
Toolbox talks.
Documentation, method statement, SOP method statement.
Okay.
Risk assessment, prepared risk assessment.
Okay.
Accident
These are your
investigation.
operation. Any practical example?
Emergency drills. Emergency evacuation procedures.
Okay, that is your emergency preparedness, but again can be operational control. Okay. Smoke detectors, very good.
Fire extinguishers.
Fire extinguishers.
First aid.
Sprinklers.
First aid box.
Sprinklers. Okay. So this is your planning, operational planning. Many organizations you will see speed limit.
Speed limit.
Exit signage.
Yes.
Exit signage.
Posters, all type
Barricades.
of poster signs.
Yeah.
Symbols.
Safety bulletins.
Safety bulletins. Okay. So this 8.1 is related to your operational planning and control, related to health and safety. it has sub-clauses. First of all, the general clause, then hazard eliminating hazards and reducing OHS risks, management of change, then procurement. 4 sub-clauses. 8.1.1 is general, that we have discussed. 8.1.2 eliminating hazard. So according to the standard, this is the hierarchy which should be followed. When you apply controls, you have identified that these are the risks. Now you will apply controls. So when you apply controls, then this is the hierarchy. First of all, organization should think, can we eliminate this hazard or risk? Then substitution, can we substitute? And then engineering control, then administrative control, and last option is PP. But normally we reverse this triangle and start from PP.
Yeah, should be the approach thing.
Yeah.
No, PP is last control measures.
Last. PP comes with the last.
For the organization, it's first.
It's first.
But it's just it's a flagship of any control. You will see it everywhere.
Yeah. Because it's very easy to provide it, and everybody can see, yes, very good. The health and safety is very good.
But sometimes this stuff also is not easy to spend money on. Sometimes organizations they don't want to spend all money.
Yeah. But there is after PP there is no option. So elimination. Any example of elimination? Any hazard which you have eliminated?
You're working on the ladder instead of working on the scaffold scissor.
So this substitution.
Substitution.
Direct contact with electrical. Direct contact with electrical.
Transfer the obligation to another.
Yeah, maybe.
No, what I mean is my company, SMC is a very high risk. Okay, I will ask your company to do it for me.
Yes, this is the elimination.
If you don't have proper measures. If you don't have proper measures in that sense.
This is elimination means we stop the work. We avoid the network.
No. You eliminate the source of risk.
So, which of the main parameters provide to the local?
I have one example.
You permanently eliminate something.
In our company, near the exit door, in front of exit door, there is one stopper for the vehicles. There is stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but when we identified that there is emergency route, we should not keep this kind of stopper. So we remove the stopper and we put one sign, no parking allowed for vehicles. So this eliminated.
Sometimes some kind of chemicals is making some for the employee. So the management will take some decision, it's no more by this thing. Elimination.
Previously, some organizations, they were using asbestos.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe this one is.
And now, totally eliminated. So this is example of elimination. Very good. Okay, substitution. Any example of substitution?
In our organization, in wastewater treatment, before we are using chlorine gas, it is more hazardous. Then instead of that, we start using chlorine powder solution. It's less
Less adherence.
Okay, like instead of using ladder,
Yeah.
you are using for scissor lift or something.
Yeah. Okay, then engineering control.
Silencer,
Silencers.
guards.
Okay.
Verification.
Verification is not engineering control. That is administrative control. Administrative. Engineering, you know, make some changes in the machinery, like applying silencers and
Filters.
Safety guard.
filters and safeguarding something. Okay, and administrative controls.
Shift change,
DBT.
Rotation.
performance systems.
Okay.
Signage.
Memos.
Yeah. Medication, that is administrative control. And PP, you want more? No need to
During
discuss.
what this, during induction, you will give directly PP.
Okay, so this is the hierarchy. You can use combination. For example, you can apply engineering control and also provide PPs. Apply administrative control and also engineering control and PPs. So this is okay. Okay, management of change. Again, if there is a change in your material, change in your process, okay, so then again you need to identify risks related to that material or that process, that equipment, tool, anything that you change. Change management. Okay. Process to be established for implementation and control of planned or temporary or permanent change, even if it is a temporary change or a permanent change. Temporary change being any example of temporary change? Permanent change being any machinery you change permanently.
Equipment is not suitable, so we change the equipment.
But that is permanent.
Permanent, yes.
Machinery, anything repair, we can change this. During summer season, there is a shift change. It's also temporary change because of hot outside and all this. By the law, it's also temporary.
Time change.
Duty hours change
Duty hours.
in the summer. We always do here in South Asia. And there is a violation also after 12 o'clock. We cannot. So that is temporary change to remove the hazard of sunstroke.
Yeah. Okay, sometime maybe an equipment failure and you send that equipment for repair and you use some temporary arrangement.
For our pits, sometimes submersible pump fails, we put one portable kind of submersible pump with flexible hose. It's also temporary.
Yeah, temporary change. Permanent being permanent. Now the procurement, 8.1.4. Procurement, as I told you, this also includes subcontractors or outsourcing. So if organization is subcontracting something or outsourcing something, then they need to control that one also, because still it is organization responsibility. So procurement, it's mean if you procure something, material or any equipment, any tool, again you need to determine the risks related to that material, that equipment or that tool. If you are using subcontractors, then you need to apply some controls on your subcontractors, so that due to their activity, the persons working in the organization not affected, or maybe due to organization activities, the contractor persons are not affected.
Management control.
Yeah. Okay, so procurement contractors 8.1.4.2, contracted activities and operations that impact the organization, other interested parties in the workplace, and organization activities and operations that impact contractor workers. Okay, and similarly outsourcing. So if you outsource something, but still it is your responsibility. You cannot say, because it was outsourced, so this is not our responsibility. Still you are responsible. So these are the controls related to procurement, purchasing, outsourcing, subcontracting.
What kind of non-compliance coming in procurement?
Maybe if you purchase some equipment, maybe some hazards or risks related to that equipment.
That particular item?
Yeah, particular item.
All
So before the purchase, then you need to determine.
This is suitable for this activity.
you mean even technical or safety related?
Health and safety.
Means safety issues,
Yeah, safety issues. Safety issues. For example, if you buy maybe lift, so then you will check whether there are sensors.
And also some for KKA, some man lifting. There is no hooking place for the man lift.
Yeah.
That is health and safety issue, right? Because it doesn't have any ability to hook on the harness.
Yeah.
So we make engineering control measure after. We make modification with
Yes,
another
yes.
hook.
Yeah.
So that is engineering control.
Okay, emergency preparedness and response. So again, same requirement as in EMS, that you identify potential emergency situation. Then, according to the emergency situation, then you develop your procedure, response plans, and check your response plans practically. Drills.
Should we keep the evidence for that?
Definitely. Retain documentation. And after that, that check, then you will see whether the people working in the organization, they are following these procedures or not. If not, then you will revise your procedures. Okay, clear? Performance evaluation and employment, clause number 9 and 10. Performance evaluation, again, same requirement as in EMS. Clause number 9.1, monitoring, measurement, analysis and evaluation. And it has two sub-clauses. 9.1.1, general requirements, and 9.1.2, evaluation of appliance.
Right.
So 6.1.3, you determine legal requirements. Now the evaluation. Are you complying with these legal requirements or not? And general requirements, general, that what needs to be monitored and measured, what is the method, who is responsible, related to occupational health and safety. Keep in mind. And again, so maybe example of key performance indicators related to occupational health and safety are total incidents, safe working hours, legal penalties, so that you can monitor or measure. Evaluation compliance with the law. Internal audit 9.2. Again, same requirements. Planned intervals, audit program with frequency, with audit criteria, audit scope, impartiality and objectivity and impartiality of auditors, take actions, keep records, same requirements. All three standards, same requirements. Clear? 9.3 management reviews. Again, the requirement is the top management shall review the performance of occupational health and safety management system at planned intervals. Planned intervals mean it's up to the organization. Yearly, 6 monthly, quarterly, it is totally up to the organization. And what should be reviewed by the top management? It is again mentioned in the standard inputs. And here you can see that some inputs related to occupational health and safety. How many incidents, incident investigation records. Otherwise, requirements are same. Clause number 10 is improvement. Again, 3 sub-clauses. The only difference is in clause number this incident, non-conformity, and corrective actions. So, incident investigation. This is extra now here. It was not in the previous two standards, IMS and EMS, but here incident investigation. So this is the standard requirement that if there is any incident or a non-conformity, so organization shall react to that incident or non-conformity and
also
investigate.
It should be in EMS also, because that can affect the environment. That is also incident thing.
But there is no term in the standard,
Because we received NCR for environment.
Non-conformity is there, but incident is not there.
Or some fuel is spillage, that is comes to environment section. That is an incident from their fuel spillage. So that is an incident.
But actually, when these standards were established, so from the start it was not in the EMS, that incident investigation.
So we have to make investigation of fuel spillage, huge amount of chemical.
But that is corrective action. This incident is related to occupational health. If there is a spillage, that is maybe a non-conformity. So incident investigation, the only difference is that if there is any incident, otherwise the same requirement, first of all correction, then identification of root causes, then actions, and then check the effectiveness. Steps are same, only thing is added is incident investigation. If there is any incident, then we will take corrective actions. Any non-conformity, we will take corrective actions. Incident is related to your health and safety. Non-conformity can be process non-conformity. So both are addressed in this standard. Non-fulfillment of any requirement is non-conformity. Incident is specifically related to health and safety. Okay, so.
But again, sir, this health and safety we're talking about is on in behalf of the human being, not in any particular living matters like animals, some plants, for example. This is particularly only for human being working, working on the area. But in the EMS, this is in general. Everything.
That is related to environment. So now we'll take break. Inshallah, we'll start 10:45. Okay. And then we'll start with the internal auditing.
For example, the speaker of what is the
सर आप कुछ टेक्निक है तो आपने वहाँ वो ब्रेक खत्म हो गया वहाँ ब्रेक
Then why we are saying preventive action and corrective action? Normally, if we are rectifying any,
they have
we are saying it for corrective action.
This one is an old one. No, this one is an old one. It came on the second day, right?
Okay, so solving action here in this case, removing the, replacing the spring. Action you are saying. You're confused? Okay.
Because this was the project was planned already. You know the names who's coming. So we bring as only specific.
Is this a
Not more?
No.
We bring more, but the old one.
We cannot say it is nearness.
if a guy working with
Because there was no event happened.